You know, we throw the word anxiety around a lot, but what if I told you it's not a malfunction? Not some kind of bug in your personal software, but actually a super powerful, ancient survival feature that's hardwired right into your brain. So today we're going to pull back the curtain, we're going to give you the user's guide to how this system works, and, way more importantly, how you can start working with it.
I mean, does this sound familiar to any of you? You're standing up in front of a crowd, maybe you're in a big work meeting, or heck, even just thinking about a tough conversation, and your body just takes over, right? Your hands get all cold and clammy, your heart is pounding out of your chest, your voice might even start to shake a little. It feels completely out of your control. Logically, you know these people aren't going to eat you, but some deeper, older part of your brain, oh, it is not convinced.
So, what is going on here? Why does our body betray us like that over something like a PowerPoint presentation? Well, to get to the bottom of it, we're not going to flip through a dry psychology textbook. Nope, we're going on a little tour, and we're going right inside your own brain. Okay, so welcome to the command center. To really get why you feel what you feel, we've got to understand the hardware. Now, this thing is, unbelievably complex, but the secret to this whole anxiety thing, it's actually pretty simple once you know the layout. The easiest way to think about it is like this. Your brain was built in layers, kind of like a 3-story house, from the basement up. We started with a foundation and just kept adding new, fancier floors over millions of years. And understanding what each floor does, well, that's the whole key to this puzzle. So down in the basement, you've got the brain stem. We call it the reptile brain because it is ancient. Its job, super simple. Just keep the lights on. It's your body's autopilot, handling all the stuff you never ever have to think about, like breathing, your heart rate, and your reflexes. It's all about pure, basic survival. Okay, moving up to the main floor, we have the limbic system, or the mammal brain. Now this is where things get interesting. This is the emotional hub of the operation. All those big, messy, powerful feelings, love, loyalty, and, yep, you guessed it, fear and anxiety, they all live right here. And this part of the brain is built for one thing: speed. It reacts first and thinks later. And then, up in the penthouse, we've got the cortex, the human brain. This is the new, fancy, top-of-the-line model. It's where all your logic, your reasoning, your planning, and your language happens. It's what you probably think of as you. But, and this is so important to get, when it comes to a real, perceived emergency, this brilliant thinking brain is the last one to get the memo. The older, faster brains downstairs are in charge. So let's put it together. When that mammal brain we just talked about even thinks it smells smoke, it doesn't politely buzz the penthouse to ask for an opinion, no way. It hits the big red button and triggers one of the oldest, most powerful survival programs we have, the fight, flight, or freeze response. And the finger on that big red button? It belongs to this tiny almond-shaped part of the limbic system called the amygdala. The best way to think of it is as your brain's hypersensitive smoke detector. It's always on, always scanning everything you see, hear, and feel for danger. And its motto is basically, freak out first, ask questions later. And this whole process happens in the blink of an eye, way faster than you can even form a conscious thought. First, your senses spot a potential threat. Instantly, the amygdala yanks the fire alarm. This floods your body with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, putting you on high alert. But here's the craziest part. To make sure you can run or fight as fast as humanly possible, your brain does something radical. It starts shutting down your thinking brain, the cortex. It's like the captain of a starship yelling, "Divert all power from life support to the phasers." Your logical brain goes offline so that every last resource can be used for pure survival. And that is why you feel all those weird physical things when you get anxious. It all makes perfect sense, right? Your heart starts pounding like a drum. That's to get blood to your arms and legs so you can fight or run. Blood gets pulled away from your skin and your gut, which is why your hands get icy cold and your stomach feels like it's in knots. Digestion is a luxury you can't afford right now. Every single one of these feelings is your body doing exactly what it's designed to do. Prepare for a life or death physical battle. Okay, so this whole system is genius, right? I mean, it's perfect if you're about to be eaten by a tiger. But there's a tiny problem. How many tigers have you run into this week? So why on earth is this alarm bell ringing all the time in our modern world? And here's the issue. That smoke detector we talked about, the amygdala, it's running on some seriously outdated software. It was designed for a world of predators and sudden physical danger. It just can't tell the difference between a life or death threat and a mean email from your boss. To your amygdala, a threat is a threat, period. That looming deadline, the stack of bills, that awful traffic jam, They all ring the exact same tiger alarm bell in your brain.
Okay, but that still leaves one big question, doesn't it? A tiger is obviously a threat. That's a no-brainer. But an email is just pixels on a screen. How does something so totally harmless get flagged as a 5-alarm fire in our brain?
Well, the answer is something pretty incredible that our brains do called associative learning. You might know it as classical conditioning. Our brains are basically expert connection-making machines, and sometimes those connections are what create our own personal, unique anxiety triggers. Okay, let's use the classic super simple example to see exactly how this works. Step 1, a dog gets a little shock, a real threat, and it has a fear response. Totally makes sense. Step 2, you ring a bell, completely neutral, and nothing happens. But then, in step 3, you start ringing the bell right before the shock, over and over again. The dog's brain wires those two things together, and pretty soon you get to the wild part. Step 4, now you can just ring the bell, no shock anywhere in sight, and the dog will start freaking out. The bell itself, once totally neutral, has become the threat. And this, right here, is exactly how a really stressful work meeting you had 6 months ago can turn the little ping of a new email into a trigger that makes your heart race today.
So, okay, that's the system. It's ancient, it's super fast, and it learns what to be afraid of. And this is the absolute most important part of this whole thing, you are not just a passenger on this ride. The good news, the really, really good news, is that you can learn to work with this system. You can learn how to quiet that alarm and get your thinking brain back in the driver's seat.
So how do you do it then? How do you basically put a hand on your mammal brain's shoulder and say, hey, I appreciate you looking out, buddy, but it's just an email. We're good. The secret is to use your body to send a message back to your brain. If you can consciously calm your physical state, you send a powerful all-clear signal right back to that smoke detector.
And here's a super simple but seriously effective 4-step way to do it. Step 1. Just notice. Become aware of what's happening in your body. Don't judge it, just name it. Say to yourself, okay, my survival system just kicked in. Step 2. Pause. Just stop. Whatever you're doing, take a beat. Step away from the computer. Ask for a second. That little bit of space is huge. Third, and this is the active part, self-soothe. You've got to calm your nervous system down, and the fastest way is with slow, deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. A short walk, splashing some cold water on your face, whatever works for you to break that physical panic cycle. And then finally, step 4, reconnect and resolve. Once your body feels safe again, that thinking brain, your cortex, comes back online. And now you can actually look at the problem and figure out what to do, using logic instead of pure, raw instinct.
So I want to leave you with this one final thought. That whole anxiety response, the thing that feels like a bug in your system, like you're broken, it's not a bug. It's a feature. It's an incredibly powerful, high-performance survival feature that has kept our species alive for hundreds of thousands of years. Your job isn't to get rid of it. You can't, and you wouldn't want to. Your job is to become the user, to learn the manual. Because when you understand how the alarm works, you can learn to hear it, thank it for the warning, and then decide for yourself if it's a real fire or if it's just someone burning the toast.